9 p.m. Central African Time, which means one thing. It's Tier 3 of the Breakaway Racing League. We are in Mexico. Thank you for joining us. My name is Bob O'Connor, and I am with Zotile. It's good to be sharing the commentary box with you, Zotile.
Shout out, Ty. We've never done this together, have we?
No, we have not.
We're always at the opposite sides of the commentary box.
100%. I've borne witness to seeing you light up the track, light up the timing sheets. I've been witness to a Zotile roasting session, but sharing the commentary box with you is pretty special. I can't wait. We're in Mexico, of all places.
Let's go. Mexico we are. Tier 3, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's been a tough week, by the way, for Breakaway, man. Ascom has been taking a bulk of, our racing, and, it's been affecting us. But hey, Tier 3, we're alive. At least we can show you guys something.
Oh, yes. A lot to look forward to. One-shot qualifying Mexico. Now, as a driver, Zotile, when you think about this particular track, what are the sort of points to look out for? Where can you get caught out? And where do you expect, the drivers to be challenged?
100%. So it's Mexico is a very nice track. Also, not an easy track at the same time. So you definitely need to take your lines nice and clean. The tricky part is that it's the first sector DRS, right? Because if you get the first DRS, you have an opportunity again to get the second DRS. So yeah. I think that's the fun part about Mexico. It always pushes for overtaking and some fun racing. But let's see how our Tier 3 drivers go.
Let's see how they go indeed. If you've been a regular watcher of these Tier 3 races, you know the likes of the Nucho, Shaka's Warrior, Sitch Big, Donathan Laka, aka Don Tolakala, and Max are some of the protagonists looking to break through to Tier 2. And of course, Charlie 3 Stacks, Lusapo, and Quali Wendile Shezi, they are in for a shout of a potential playoff spot. One shot qualifying, here we go. Zotile looks like Fana is in an early lead, and the Nucho's up there.
100%. Fana Fighter always is in the lead at the front. We'll see how he pans out the first turn, Fana Finder.
Here he comes as I make sure you get all of that telemetry, all of those details. It is Fana currently in second place. The Nucho and Sima Rules are pretty much staking a claim for that top spot currently. Sidge Fig now making his presence felt. Labuyo Maddie is also here out in the Red Bull. It's the two Red Bulls with a 1-2 currently, but Fente says, no, I am also here. It keeps on switching with each and every corner that they take. Let's hop on board with Fente and see what it looks like from his perspective. Oh, man, he took that corner way slowly. It looked like he was slipping, but right now he's holding on to P1 as he comes through this left-hander. Has a bit of a snap there, which means Sidge Fig kind of reclaims that top spot. But yeah, it's a straight-up fight between Fente, Cole Baby, and the average FIFA player currently. So it's chopping and changing into this final slow section, Zotile.
Interesting to note that the medium runners at the second sector moved up into the front. Will they be able to maintain it? No, Fence 360 says I'm back, but does Cole Baby maintain that lead on the medium compound? Doesn't look like it, but
he does. Cole Baby crosses the line first. 117.714. Fence and Charlie 3 Stacks make up positions 2 and 3. Oh man, that was absolutely neck and neck. It wasn't a dominant performance from one driver. It kept on switching, Zotile.
100%. Actually, I like how it's getting so tight. So look at the times. I mean, yeah, the top 5 of our Tier 3 drivers are within a second. Shows the competition not only from Tier 1 or Tier 2, but from a Tier 3 point of view. Cole Baby on the medium compound. I think he's got a very big advantage. Even Charlie 3 Stacks and Donathan Laga, aka Don Talagala, at a good position there with mediums. It's going to be interesting to see, though, will they maintain it on the start?
Absolutely. Nucho, Shezi, Fana, Sima Rules, Quali, and Wenger in rounding off the top 10. Average FIFA player 11th, Sidge Fig 12th. Then we have Lavuyo and Melly in 14th place. Clean race, please, gents, says Key Music in the comments. That's definitely something we're hoping for. We are out in Mexico. It's a 25% race. Tier 3 racing. Out here, it's a sunny day, even though in Johannesburg,
pheka lapha obhizi ngama-flag lapha kodwa thina siyagodwa la sibhizi ngama-stone nama-medlemon amarana ku-grand 25 seconds izorace or kanjani sothini.
Hey, how are you, Protox, man? Hey, I see the Protox, man. You're good.
Ndoda esazama mani esazama no-crash yiye crash ezikhipha no-grand jo.
Hayi mnandi.
No, hey, great. Mangathi khemerinyana nje ngithi it's before race, but 5 seconds.
Yes, 5 seconds to go indeed before we are racing. The race is indeed well and underway here in Mexico. Thank you for joining us for Tier 3 of Breakaway Racing. Zotal, as I get the details underway, please take us away.
Let us go, ladies and gentlemen. Cole Babe on the medium compound. Will he have a good... Oh, no. The Ferrari gets a slow start, drops off Fete. Cole Baby maintains it. Jonathan Laga, aka John Tolagana. Oh, slipstream. Oh no, someone's losing their car there from behind. The Ferrari's losing their car. Oh, Fete has had the worst of starts, ladies and gentlemen. Cole Baby takes the lead. The front three are medium runners there, Ty.
Medium runners, absolutely. Fente's had a nightmare start. It was 5 places lost, but he's managed to recover. He now finds himself in P4. It's Charlie 3 Stacks chasing Cold Baby for the race lead out here in Mexico. Cold Baby with ice cold veins, keeping it nice and steady in P1. The gap between P1 and P2 is about 8 tenths currently. Jonathan Laka is having a fight of his life with Fence, who has a moment there. And Don says thank you very much and taking that P3 spot, Zotile.
100%. I think Fence might be struggling with network issues there, because at some point we thought it was spinning out, but made it back to P4. Look at him. Oh, his porpoising is back in P3. Yeah, I think we might have network problems there from Fence. But as we look at the tires, ladies and gentlemen, front 2 runners are on medium compounds. Fence will obviously need to capitalize. We're hoping it's not going to be porpoising for too long.
Yeah, we definitely hope so. It is Charlie 3 Stacks in the AlphaTauri currently chasing down Cold Baby. The ever-glitching Fence is hopping, skipping to the left and to the right with network issues. Jonathan Laka is quite wary. Of course, when someone's having network issues, you're quite scared of hitting into the back of them potentially. Meanwhile, down in P7, it is Fence. It is a huge battle between Shezi, Fana, Fig, and Lavuyo Matty. They're going side by side, 3 cars side by side. There's a little bit of contact between the Red Bull and the Williams, but it looked like Fana might just have a fight in his hand to hold on to P8. It is a huge battle.
It's a little battle, but Lavuyo Matty holds the inside line. Fana finder pulls out there, says, I will fight another day, ladies and gentlemen. Rather, better safe than sorry then.
Better safe than sorry indeed. Meanwhile, Nucho, who's one of the championship protagonists in Tier 3, finds himself in 5th place currently, chasing down Jonathan Laka. The gap is down to within less than half a second, and as they take this short S session, it looks like he gains on Jonathan Laka, and the gap now is just about 3 tenths. Oh, he's going to have to be careful with the brakes there. He came in quite heavy there, but Nucho is hunting down the McLaren driver, who's going to have to make sure he makes no mistakes. Meanwhile, Lavuyo Matty and Shezi right behind them are also having a titanic scrap behind them. So let's see how this battle between Nucho and Don fares out. Looks like he's managed to come through unscathed. Has Don? The gap is now 8 tenths, Zotan.
100%. So I think as Don right now, his aim will be to defend that position as long as possible, because remember, he's on the medium compound, right? So the longer he keeps Nucho behind him, the better it is for him. But for Nucho, for him, he will need to take that position real quick. Remember, he's starting on the soft compound, so he'll be going, his second stint will be on the slower compound tire.
Absolutely, and I would have you know that Nucho, although he just racked up a time penalty, he was quickest, I think, through the first sector. Don! He absolutely spins out, loses his car, does Don. And, man, he will slip down and absolutely potentially have to come all the way back into the pits. Man, he was coming along nicely.
Don, I think Don has been in his season so far. He's in front of the Tier 3 championship standings, but he's had a bad run of races lately. He's been out.
And now it's going to be a recovery drive in lap 3 of 18. He is wingless as Don, so he will have to come back change that wing and perhaps hope for a safety car to be able to catch up back to the track and potentially fight all the way back up this grid. Meanwhile, Sige Fig up in 7th seems to be one of the drivers in the midst of a potential battle with Wandel Shezzy in P6. Let's see how he fares. Sige Fig in the Red Bull. The gap between these two is about 7/10 currently, and can Sige Fig catch up? Well, coming into the slow turn 1, yes, he does catch up. He's trimmed that gap down to about 6/10. Shezzy goes wide, and Sige Fig can smell blood here in the Red Bull as he is come through 7th gear. He only has about 28% to give or take of the battery power, so he's got his work cut out to make sure that he stays within that DRS of Shezzy and manages to take some sort of advantage. Lap 4 of 18, Zotal.
Yeah. Sige Fig needs to, I think, fight for his life for the rest of the season. He's currently sitting in P3 in the Tier 3 standings. Only a point behind the neutral and Charles Warrior. Unfortunately, we couldn't have Charles Warrior in this race. I'm assuming it's because of load shedding. But the top two was that neutral is on 139 points, Charles Warrior 139 points, and Sige is on 138. So the key for him is to maintain this race and make sure that he basically picks up maximum points.
Yep, lots of work for Sige to do over here. Wandel Shezzy will not make it easy. Almost kisses the walls as Wandel, and Sige Fig, of course, will take advantage of any sort of slip up here. And it is an absolutely case of sending it from Sige Fig as he nails that DRS and that ERS at the same time and gets that move done. Sige Fig is up to P6 behind Luvuya Madi in the other Red Bull. Now Shezzy will have the fight of his life on his hand. Shezzy's battery power sits at about 32% as Sige goes wide at the exact same spot that Shezzy did a lap before. So, can Shezzy take advantage of the same way that Fig did? Well, this is going to be a battle that we're going to be watching pretty much very closely here. It's lap 5 of 18. It's race number 20. And after this, of course, it'll be just 4 races for the until this Tier 3 breakaway season comes to an end. Remember, there are potential playoff spots on the line, potential automatic promotion on the line. Every single point counts as it looks like an average people player behind Shezzy goes wide there trying to chase these two. But yeah, there's a lot at stake here, Zotal.
100%, and we jump on board as well with the other Red Bull driver for the night, Luvuya Madi. He's putting the pressure on the neutral. He's about to get DRS. A man who started late in the league. So, I'm talking about Luvuya Madi, Fence at 360, Cole Beatty. These gentlemen have started late, but already we can see the raw pace of these gentlemen. They're going to increase the competition in Tier 3. As he dives on the inside, will he be sending it? Oh, be careful, my brother.
Was there contact between the two Red Bulls?
You must just be careful. Be careful. You have to choose the right spot to send it.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost had a heart-in-the-mouth moment there between the two Red Bulls. Luvuya Madi looking to steal the march on the Nucho out in P4. Nucho, of course, will be kicking himself and reeling from that time penalty, which could yet play a huge role towards the end of this race. Jonathan Laka in his recovery drive has just set the fastest lap, as you saw a couple of seconds ago. But this is the battle that we're watching. It is Luvuya Madi versus Sige Fig versus the Nucho. And we're on board with Luvuya Madi over here. Goes a little bit wider than Nucho did. So Nucho taking advantage of that little bit of a twitch there from Luvuya Madi. Meanwhile, Shezzy has stolen the march on Sige Fig, who seems to be dropping. He's lost that place to the average FIFA play as well.
Oh, I think the mediums are kicking in. Average player just sent it on the inside and taking that position from Sige Fig. Moves himself into P7 and he's closing in on the front soft runners.
Absolutely. Now, based on your experience, Zotel, we're watching this battle between Sige Fig and average FIFA play. Sige Fig looking to reclaim his position, and he does. He claims that P7 spot back. So it's definitely a hell of a scrap between these three, Shezzy, Fig, and the average FIFA player. Zotal, I'd like to ask you how long you expect these soft tires to perform in a track like this?
I am expecting the soft runners to probably pit on the next lap 8, 9. The undercut works very well. As there's contact between Wandile Shezi and Sis Fick and Luvuyo Madi, it's the battle.
It's a hell of a scrap. Contact once again. Shezi goes off the track and comes back, hoping to keep his spot from the average FIFA player. It's a hell of a scrap between the Red Bulls. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you the guts to take out your teammate on track. They made a little bit of contact over there. And
more contact.
between Shezi and Sid Fig is absolutely leaving nothing to chance here, as of course there is so much at stake as far as points are concerned at a potential playoff spot or automatic promotion here. It is an absolutely
I love it. It's good. Undercut works in Mexico, by the way. Undercut works. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a wrong call for any soft runner to be pitting now. But I think the guys that have an advantage are the guys on the mediums, because, second stint softs is something else in Mexico.
It really is. Speaking of the medium runners, our race leader is Cold Baby, who has kept it absolutely on lock as far as that P1 position is concerned. And fellow medium runner Charlie 3 Stats, Charlie 3000, all the way out in Houston, is in P2. The gap between those two is about 1.8 seconds, give or take or tenth. And Fensei, who it was the ghost of Fensei for quite some time, who was glitching, is holding steady in P3 on those soft tires. And we'll see pretty much in a second or two who of these leaders will come in first. Nucho is in P4, and Luvuyo Madi, who we saw in that Titanic scrap, is in P5 from Sitch Fig and the other Red Bull. Wendell Shezi is in P7 currently from the average FIFA player in 8th place. Melly currently sits in 9th place in the AlphaTauri, followed by Fana and Donathan Laka, who is aiming to recover for the rest of this race. Wenger In is in 12th place, Sema Rules 13th, and Nkwali is in P14 on 5-lap-old hard tires. So Nkwali had to come in earlier than most of the rest of the gang. But Fensei is one of the top runners to come into the pit lane, and he puts on a set of medium compound tires, does Fensei. And having come in first alongside Luvuyo and Shezi, they slip down the pecking order. But of course, Cole Baby and Charlie's 3 Stacks and the like still have to come into the pits. So, Zotal, you reckon the undercut can be quite powerful here?
100%. Fencer can make a bit of ground on the front runners that are obviously driving on 8-lap-old mediums. But the soft does the talking towards the end again. In Mexico. Noting it's a 25%. No safety car, by the way. Shout out to that. And obviously, no one will be hoping for a safety car now, especially Fencer, who has just pit, and Wandile Shezi, Luvuyo Madi, and Fana Finder, who have pit for the medium compound.
Absolutely, no safety car, which bodes well, of course, for the quality of racing. It's been a steady improvement as far as the quality of the races and the excitement of the races as the breakaway season has gone along. So kudos to our Tier 3 drivers who have given us brilliant entertainment throughout this season. T3 lap 10 of 18, Cold Baby leads this race out here in Mexico. Of course, he's yet to pit. He's kept it absolutely nice and calm with the Alfa Romeo. The gap has been pretty much steady at about 1.8 seconds between 100%. Him and Charlie 3 Stacks. So Charlie,
I was about to mention that their pace is so similar, right? Because that gap has been 2 seconds, I don't know, for the past 6 laps.
Charlie 3 Stacks is not letting him get away. As far as building up that gap is concerned, it's been quite consistent at that mark. And I can imagine if you're in Charlie's position, do you kind of do what he does, or do you do the opposite of Cole Baby? Do you just pit if he doesn't? And how would you play it from Charlie's perspective? So it's up.
Definitely undercut him. He gets a 3-second
time penalty,
which will basically shoot himself on the leg there. But I'd undercut him. I think if I'm seeing that he's going for another lap, I'll send it on into the pits as of now. Let's see if Cole Baby pits. He does not. Charlie should pitch right now. He does not as well. Oh, are they listening to Jeff? Is it a case of them listening to Jeff?
Perhaps. We'll catch up with them. There's a bit of a scrap going on between Fana and Don Talakela in the McLaren. Now, what can Fana do now. Of course, Don pitted for a set of soft tires after that mistake, which cost him his wing. But now those tires are 5 laps old, so they're starting to scream. Perhaps we're seeing him weave to the left and the right as Fana goes off track by a small margin, and with about half his battery left, he inches closer and closer to Don, and do them in contact. He forces Don off track, and Don cuts that corner and tries to recover. Fana was way too excited there, so tired.
No, that was too much. That was too much, my father. I actually thought Don was going to take those soft sides to the end. He could have. But I think he could see that the pace of the mediums was obviously more cooked than the softs, and he's sending it into the pits again.
Yep, he came back into the pits, did Don. So, well, he's lost so much ground, he'll definitely hope for a safety car to bring him back into the potential reckoning for a decent point finish here.
Cold Baby goes into the pits.
Cold Baby
doesn't want to pit.
Yep, 10-lap-old soft tires for Sige Fig. He's opted to stay out. Cold Baby has come into the pits, and that, of course, leaves the race lead to Charlie 3 Stacks with about 6 laps of racing to go. Average FIFA player is now in the reckoning as far as potential podium places is concerned, but, of course, we do have to take the penalties into account. Look at that, Sige Fig, 12 seconds worth of time penalty. A Cold Baby is the only driver within the top 10 who has yet to rack up a time penalty. So he's doing absolutely really well.
And it's key to note, right? Cold Baby has picked.
Yes.
But he's 3 seconds behind average player who's in P2.
Exactly.
16
seconds of Charlie, and he's sliding around. So it was a bad call not coming in.
Yeah, we're watching Charlie 3 Stacks currently struggling for grip in lap 12 of 18 as a crash is noticed. He should have come in probably earlier, and he slides out of that final corner and makes his way finally. FIFA play, did you see how that happened?
Oh my God!
Oh!
Is this advantage, Charlie 3 Stacks?
It is.
Let's see. Where is Cold Baby? Where is Cold Baby?
Here comes Cold Baby on the final stretch. We're watching Cold Baby now, who passes the end of the pit lane and comes out in front.
That was tight.
That was very close. That was very close. But it's race on again.
It's race on again. And as you can see, as far as the penalties are concerned, Charlie 3 Stacks 3 seconds. Fence in P3 6 seconds worth of time penalty. And Sige Fig is really taking this as a time penalty shootout. He's on 17 seconds worth of time
if I was
penalties
3 to 9, I'd go in and pit again.
3 to 9. Let's
3 to P9.
Oh, noting that they're on the medium compound. I see what you mean. I see what you mean, Grace. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at most of them are on the medium compound.
Definitely needs to pit.
Yep. Quali. Well, let's take a look at your grid now in lap 13 of 18 under safety car in Mexico. It is Cold Baby leading the race in the Alfa Romeo from Charlie 3 Stacks, who pitted and took advantage of a safety car coming out, but sadly for him, couldn't hang on to P1. Fence is in P3 in the Ferrari. The Nuccio is in 4th place. Sige Fig is in 5th. Wandal Shezzy in the Aston Martin having a bit of a scrap under safety car with Guido Matti, who seems to fight back. They're touching wheels under safety car, so no love lost between those two. They've battled pretty much the entirety of this race. Shezzy is in P6. Guido Matti is in 7th currently. Melly is currently in 8th place in the AlphaTauri, and Donathan Laka, aka Dontal Keala, no penalty for him, but finds himself in P9. Fana is in 10th place, the last of the points finishers, but now under safety car he will have to contend with SEMA rules closing that gap from P11 in P11, and Nkwali is in P12. Wenger is all the way at the back of this grid, P13 for the Mercedes driver.
Key to note that Luvuyo Mari has pit for the soft compound, so Crash called it.
So
The rest of the crew,
pits, Nucho should have pits ish.
the rest of the crew have chosen. No, but not necessarily. I mean, it's lap 14 of 18, 2 laps of no DRS, so I think they can definitely warm those tires up and defend those positions.
Yeah, but they could have fought for.
Hey,
position
fancy!
ahead.
I think. Oh, it's a glitch.
Is Fente glitching again?
I thought he hit the wall.
Fente's network sending him pretty much all over the track.
Yeah, Fente khona le ngoma yasenkonzweni bathi wangithatha la wangibeka la inetwork yakafente
Yes. Take him here and put
Did
him
Nucho
there.
just take that position from
He
Sid?
did, yeah, that's what I'm watching, yeah.
No, he has to give that position back. Let's see the penalties. Let's have a look at the
Sage Fig 17, Jesus Christ.
17-second time penalties for Sitch Fig.
No, but I mean, I'm actually advocating for him. He's been holding it down since the
For
start
the whole
of the
season, actually.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
The whole
So
season, yeah.
he's bottling it at the end, man. He's bottling it at
Nah,
the end.
I don't think it's a case of him bottling it as the safety car is about to go in. I think
well,
it's just
the
tough.
guys that have showed
It's just
up,
tough.
correct.
Yeah, it's just tough competition. It's just tough competition.
Correct,
But he's holding it
correct.
down, still in the front of the grid. But
He's
yeah,
been
we'll
standing
see.
for quite a while.
Correct. Let's go. Start of the race there, Ty.
Restart of the race indeed. Cold baby, keeping it, playing it ice cold. Keeping it ice cool and backing them up, and we'll see exactly where he will hit that throttle. Charlie 3 Stacks does not want to be caught napping. We are on board now with Charlie 3 Stacks. Cold baby sends it. Charlie 3 Stacks responds by sending it in turn. He is absolutely punching that battery, that ERS, but that gap is up to about half a second between P1 and P2 currently. Fence is already a second behind
Melly's
the top
out.
two. Melly is out of this race. Crashes out, become the second driver that we lose in this race. Charlie 3 Stacks has not been caught napping per se. The gap is about half a second, but he did take that chicane, that exit quite slowly. Cole Baby got the better exit now, and the gap is about half a second between these two. Coming into this left-hander, another braking zone, of course. Charlie 3 Stacks manages to catch up. His nose is right to the tail of the Alfa Romeo. Those Ferrari fumes straight into the helmet of Charlie 3 Stacks. He takes a deep breath and absolutely puts the pedal to the metal as they come through the F section. Who can hold their nerve and who can hold it steady right here as Fence keeps on falling further and further behind. But I do not care, says Charlie 3 Stacks. I am looking for a potential overtake with just 3 more laps to go of this race full time.
100%. It's lit up in front. Action as they stand. Sage will be kicking himself for that 70-second penalty, but he is less than 4 tenths behind the neutral. One of the shares is also within the mix on the medium compound tire, but will he get his tires warm enough as Cole Baby takes that extra point with 2 laps to go? Fast lap of a 1:18.3. Luvuyo Mad is also putting the pressure on Randy Leshezi. He is smelling that engine. He's going to go on the outside. The soft compound tire isn't talking yet. Crash. You see what I mean? See what I mean? Forrest Gump. Oh, is he going to sit on the inside? Ooh. Thinks about it twice. Trying to find against a 3-second penalty P8 as he takes. John Tolagala. John says, no, thank you, sir. That's my position. Action packed. Tier 3. We go back to Charlie 3 Stacks, who's 7 tenths behind Tyson.
7 tenths behind. Penalties everywhere. Woo, says Mispano. Indeed, it's a time penalty shootout. We'll catch up with those and see the ramifications before the end of this race. But it is Charlie 3 Stacks in the fight of his life for a potential.
Luvuyo Madi off track.
Luvuyo Madi slips all the way down to P10 as a result of that. P11 right now on those fresh soft tires as we watch Charlie 3 Stacks in his sustained assault, a sustained attempt to take over the top spot held by Cold Baby, who it must be said has had an absolutely stellar race from the beginning, absolutely up until this point. He qualified.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Sage Figures gonna finish last.
Thanks to that time penalty.
Yep. Those are the time penalties, definitely. Charlie 3 Stacks will have 1 shot of the DRS if he can maintain within a second behind Cole Baby. But he'll be kicking himself for the 3-second penalty. Again, medium runners holding there. Oh,
Yes.
P3 and P4. Sage, P5. What did they say to P6? Let's go, Tyson.
Was just catching up with Lavuya Madi, who's attempting to recover now, and almost had that overtake on SEMA Rules, but could not get it done at the end of that DRS straight. Lavuya Madi will be absolutely fuming. He was up for a decent points finish today, but now finds himself all the way out in P10. The Red Bull SEMA Rules goes wide. Thank you very much, says Lavuya Madi. Can he get that move done? Yes, is the answer before they come into this right-hander. Oh, it was so close, SEMA Rules. And has a bit of contact between them, Quali there. And Quali manages.
Charlie Stacks on Cold Baby. It's 4/10 now.
It's the battle for the race lead. We are back on board with Charlie 3 Stacks in the Alpha Tauri. He has been absolutely relentless, says Charlie 3 Stacks, but Cold Baby has just been better this entire race. The gap, half a second between these two. DRS is open. His battery is down all the way to 4%. Can Charlie 3 Stacks get this move done? He might be too far behind into this heavy braking zone for turn 1, but he manages to hang on. This is the final lap, Zotile.
Let's go! Charlie! Ooh, almost loses it. Nice recovery from Charlie 3 Stacks. Oh, that was
that was a change done. That was a shit done. Is there to save it.
It's quite fantastic. He's still within about half a second, the gap between these two. Being top two drivers here, of course, it has been an absolutely titanic battle for the race win. But unfortunately, Charlie 3 Stacks' time penalty will, of course, come into play here, and he would have been hoping for Cold Baby to rack up a penalty to make things even more interesting here. Charlie drives like a madman, says Mispano. Well, he managed to keep that car on track. The gap is still less than half a second between these two. He is absolutely not giving Cold Baby a second, a moment to breathe, but in lap 18 of 18, the final turn, he managed to take top spot in qualifying. He held his own. He crosses the line first, and he wins the Mexico Grand Prix. This Cold Baby in Tier 3 in race number 20. Charlie 3 Stacks crosses the line second, and Fence is the last of the podium finishers, and Nucho and the Mercedes will cross the line in P4. And here come the rest of them. Don Blacka.
Sage is
going down, guys. Does Seba take the points? Does Seba take that? He takes it. Does Quali take it? Ooh, manages to maintain the last point with the 17-second penalty. What a race by
What a race by Tier 3. Sage Big manages to hang on there. Donathan Lacka recovered to claim P5. Remember, he was all the way at the back. Wendell Shezzy came through P6. Lavuyo 7th. Fana 8th. SEMA Rules in 9th place as well.
Charlie's ARS getting used like AMC budget.
Advert there, ladies and gentlemen, for Tier 3. Oh, what a race.
Absolutely.
I mean, shout out to our viewers as well that are watching us live, man. I know we haven't been having a race, but surely this was able to fill up your appetite. Just to remind you what Breakaway Racing is all about.
Absolutely. What a fantastic advert for Breakaway Racing. Cold Baby, ice cold veins, ice cold performance is the winner out in Mexico. We have just 4 more races to go. Of course, Tier 3 drivers race on Mondays and Wednesdays. And stay tuned. We will get a sense of who exactly will be automatically promoted to Tier 2 and who will make the playoff spots. Super exciting.
Super exciting. Coming to the end of Tier 3. It's been action-packed, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie 3 Stacks, Cold Baby, relatively new, so which is bad for him. But look at the times of those two gentlemen. Literally 400ths of a second for the fast lap. But Cold Baby takes that extra lap. Fancy closes out the podium 3 spots. Nucho, who is fighting for promotion, P4. Jonathan Lager as well. Wandi Leshezi runs out P6. Lavuyo Madi 7. Fana Finder, points for him. SEMA Rules, points for him as well. Sitchpick P10. Beautiful race for Tier 3.
Absolutely beautiful. Zotal Crash, as always, you've been fantastic. And thank you, everybody, for watching and for all your comments.
Cheers.
Let's go home.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you on, hopefully, tomorrow for Tier 1. And that's been it from us. We'll see you next time. Thank you and good night.
Good night. Good night, guys.
Shout outs.